Hey everybody, welcome to my Eldlich Frog deck profile that I've been playing over the past couple of days at the LCS thing. So this was what I played for the LCS like VIP tournament. So it's like a single elimination tournament. As soon as you lose, you're out. I've been posting videos on that for the last couple of days. So if you are interested in looking at any of those feature matches, you can go ahead and check that on my channel. So basically, the idea is that there's a lot of power cards in this deck that really do a lot of things and like get you a lot of advantage, right? So first of all, like Magician's Souls, like being able to discard any of these cards, like including any of the paleo cards, is actually really solid because these all give you pluses. They all float, right? So there's lots of good stuff that you can do with that. Like drawing Eldland and Souls is like got to be one of the best combos in the deck because you're basically like good to do lots of stuff. So pretty much like it's actually like really insane because you can like Eldland search for a like Conquistador or a Goldland Forever, and then you can get rid of the Eldland with the Souls to draw free cards. So you get a free plus, and then your Eldland is going to send basically your Hakera, and then your Hakera is going to get you access to your Scarlet Sanguine. So during the following turn, you have a Scarlet Sanguine and a Golden Forever. So you're going to basically have a free negate off of Souls just for drawing the Eldland. So I think that's really cool. That's a pretty cool synergy there that I think a lot of people really know with the Eldlich list by itself, but I mean, I think it's just really cool just having the extra synergy with the Dynamistress. So so I'm also opting to play Gammas and Driver to get just like another hand trap, which is really good. Honestly, I didn't think this was as good as it should have been. So I think I'm going to be replacing this with something else moving forward. But yeah, I definitely think it like did a good job. It just didn't do good enough of a job. So I'm probably going to be getting rid of it. And then Eldlich the Golden Lord is actually still like super fantastic. Send any spell or trap, and then just remove everything off the field. So really good. And then for the Frog engine, we're just playing 5. We're playing the Swap Frog, 1 Ronin, and 1 Dupe Frog. So I know this loses really hard to DD Crow and Call by the Grave, but realistically, like I didn't really see too big of a deal with just playing these 5 frogs. As soon as you get access to your toad's going to be special summoning your Dupe Frog, and then they can't clear your Dupe Frog. So I think that's really nice. But yeah, and then we opted to play 2 copies of Nibiru in the main deck, just because Adamantipator is pretty good right now. 3 copies of Eldland, obviously, 1 copy of the Elixir Black Awakening, as I just wanted like 1 spell or 1 Elixir spell. I don't know, this is like okay, I probably could cut it and be fine. Reasoning, because we play so many different levels, and if our opponent like sees that we're playing Eldlich, they're gonna call 10, and it's like, okay, I'll get a Swap Frog for free. So I think that's pretty cool, especially because you can still get a Magician Souls off of the Reasoning, so I think that's really cool, just being able to basically turn Reasoning into a Souls is really nice. Also, you're going to mill all of your spells and traps, which these cards love being in the graveyard, so why not, you know? 2 copies of Conquistador. I didn't really need the 3rd, but I feel like it could be good to have a 3rd. 3 copies of Scarlet Sanguine, and then 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Even though this is a going first deck, I do want to opt to main the Evenly Matches because it's still fine to keep them in the deck because you can still discard them off of cards like Conquistador, Dynamistress, or you can discard them off of cards like Eldlich, either of his effects. So honestly, like the Evenlys aren't really even that big of a deal. Golden Land Forever, just 1 copy. I could probably opt to play 2 copies of this, but it's fine at 1, I think. 2 copies of Hakero. This doesn't really do anything, really. From what I've seen in the matches, I mean, it could be like good, so I think I'm going to keep 2 in, and I'm probably going to add a 3rd Conquistador at some point to this list. 3 copies of Dynamistress, 2 copies of Olenoides, and the 3rd is on the side deck. 3 copies of Solemn Judgment, 2 written off the list. So moving on into the side deck, we play 3 copies of Inspector Porter. I still don't know how I feel about this. I never set it in, so I don't know how I feel. 1 Nibiru, 3 Sphere Mode, 3 copies of Storm, and then 1 Order, 1 Illinois, and the last 3 are Waking the Dragon. Moving on into the extra deck, we play one rank 5 because Conquistador and Hekero are both level 5 monsters, so we can make Pleiades. And Pleiades can target any card of the field or return of the hand, so you can actually target your own Eldland and put it back in your hand, which is really interesting because, like, assuming that you're still like stuck into Eldland's like effect or whatever, because you can't declare an attacks except with zombies, which really isn't that big of a deal most of the time. But if you really want to get out of that, you can make a Pleiades and then just bounce it back to your hand. And then you can attack for 25, and assuming that you have an old Eldlich, you can probably hit him for another 25 or 35. So it's a pretty big chunk of damage there, especially because Pleiades is bigger than both Hekero and Conquistador, even combined, because these are just 23 combined, and this is 25. Plus, this is another form of removal since it's a quick effect. Anyways, Anomalakaris, I only play one Opabina, because you can search for any of these, which is really nice. Ultimate Falcon, since you can summon this off of Waking the Dragon. It hasn't came up yet, but it probably could. Gustav Max, because assuming that you have a Eldlich that survived the turn, and then you get a second Eldlich, you're going to be attacking for 25, then 35, which is a total of 6,000 points of damage, right? Then your opponent still has 2,000 life points, so you can use both Eldliches and overlay into a Gustav Max, and then you can deal the last 2,000 points of damage to your opponent, so pretty smart. One copy of Totally Awesome, because you can make this card pretty easily. What's really nice, which is a really cool synergy here, is that Scarlet Sanguine, sure, it locks you into zombies for the rest of the turn, but if you activate this during the end phase, you can actually go end phase Scarlet Sanguine and then chain one of your Paleos. So it's after the card effect resolves, so you're perfectly fine to activate cards that would summon themselves before Scarlet Sanguine resolves. So you can still like chain the Paleos, they summon themselves, and then the Scarlet Sanguine summons the zombie from deck, assuming if you're not playing any other zombies, you're going to be summoning Golden Lord, obviously. And then at that point, you're locked into zombies for the rest of the turn, but because it's the end phase, it doesn't matter. Move to the next turn. Then you can like use Scarlet Sanguine and then just set like a Golden Land spell or trap, and then you can normal summon any level 2, make Toad. So I think that's pretty cool. It's basically getting a free body on the field every single turn, so I think that's really smart. Akasha Magician, because you're playing zombies, you're playing Aquas, why not, you know? It's pretty important. It's pretty cool, actually, I think. Because if you combine the Akashic with the Security Dragon, you can actually bounce 2 cards. And I should probably be playing Gustav Mac, or not Gustav, what's it called? Mech Knight, Crusadia Avermax, but I don't know. There's a lot of space and room into this extra deck, so like you can still move a lot of cards around. Boral Sword, IP Masquerena, Megaclops, Phoenix, Unicorn, Link Repo, Security Dragon. So technically, if you get any way into the Totally Awesome, so assuming you have like 2 Dynamistress, you can make a Toad. Then you can use one of them to get the Dupe Frog out of deck, and then on your turn, you can use it to get the Swap Frog out of deck, and then send the Ronin. You can grab the Dupe Frog back to your hand and normal it again, and then send another Swap Frog to the grave. Then you can banish the swap, get the Ronin out of the grave, and then you can make any Link 2 from that point. So you can make, you know, like Akashic or Security or IP, it doesn't matter. And then you can banish the second Swap Frog, the Swap Frog you summon off of the Toad to make, you know, the IP, summon the Ronin back. You can use the Ronin, the Dupe Frog, and the Swap Frog into a sword, and then your sword and your Toad is a Boral Sword. So basically, Toad if Toad doesn't go uninterrupted, or if it does... How do I word that? If it doesn't get interrupted, you can make a sword the next turn for free. So, pretty smart. IP, I think it's cool because you can make Unicorn, but it's like really odd because you're going to be using this on the opponent's turn. So, it kind of locks you in with the Hekero and the Conquistador, but like preferably you have the Conquistador set with the Eldlich Golden Lord, then you use it to summon itself, pop a card, and then use it in the IP into Unicorn, and then you can start using your Scarlet Sanguine and stuff like that. So I guess like it's okay. Megaclops, because if you summon this against Adamancipator, they don't have an out. Phoenix, because you can pop a card, get rid of, you know, get out of problem cards like there can be only one, or goes in match, I guess. Actually, you can't out goes in match with this, but you guys get the idea, basically. Unicorn, because you can summon this off of IP, plus it's pretty good. It's a good toolbox card. Link Repo, because you can summon this with Souls, so you get a free card. Security Dragon. Not much else to say about that. It's just bounce, same thing with this Akashic Condition, and then a Zeroboros, because Zeroboros is pretty broken. If you don't have any other targets off Waking the Dragon, you can even bring this out, which is pretty cool. But that's gonna be doing it for today's video, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Real quick, if you are like a normal member of the channel, you can go ahead and join the Discord in the link below, and I'm gonna start doing some tournaments soon. And yeah, hopefully there will be the SUYGO, the Southern Utah Yu-Gi-Oh! Number 3 that will start in hopefully 2 days from now. With all of that said, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys later.